At 5, a string of break-ins and thefts targets an up-and-coming neighborhood.
Yeah, more than a dozen cars and homes have been targeted over the past 2 weeks in Murray Hill. Now, people who live there say they've had to change their locks. They've had to add security cameras. First Coast News' Bethany Anderson is live from Astral Street. That's near Murray Drive, where neighbors, Bethany, say they're doing their own police work to take action.
Yeah, they are. Not only are they doing their little 9 o'clock routine, locking up their doors, but they have installed those security cameras. This one actually caught 2 men going through car to car, and now everyone on the street, they're looking for them. 2 surveillance videos taken on 2 neighboring streets capture what neighbors in Murray Hill believe are the 2 same losers that stole wallets and cell phones from unlocked cars in Murray Hill early Sunday morning.
I don't think it's very cool at all.
Bohal says theft is getting so bad, he's ready to do something about it.
Be scared because if we find you, it's not going to be nice. And, you know, we might have to take a citizen's arrest.
But other neighbors like Sarah would just prefer a heavier police presence.
We had both of our cars broken into this last Saturday, and the Saturday before we had one of our cars broken into as well.
We need to be strong and look out for the whole neighborhood. So anybody that wants to come together for Astral Street right here in Murray Hill, let's all get it.
Another thing on top of that 9 o'clock routine, people are actually checking outside their windows to make sure nobody's walking on the sidewalk and that the streets are empty. Reporting live in Murray Hill, Bethany Anderson, First Coast News, on your side.
Bethany, thank you.